Hi guys, so today I'm going to be explaining chemistry week 8. It's very similar to the past few weeks. So I'm going to be explaining the new stuff and the old hard stuff that people probably don't understand by now. But you can look back at old videos if you don't understand. So what is precipitation? Okay, precipitation, it is the formation of a solid from a solution. What that answer means is, like, let's say hail. Hail is ice falling down like rain, okay? It's made from water. Hail is like ice, yeah? So it's made from water. So it's the formation of a solid from a solution. That's what precipitation is. Okay, here, they want you to calculate volume. And the way to calculate volume in like these questions are coefficient times STP or RTP. In this case, it's STP. But they don't want you to put the answer directly. They want you to put like how you do it. So it's coefficient times 22.4, coefficient times 22.4, coefficient times 22.4, coefficient. Oh yeah, here you can't, because look, here to gas, here to gas, here to gas, here to liquid. You can't do liquid. So it's going to be 0, it's negligible. Okay, and part B, it's the same thing for solid. Solid is also negligible. It's always just gas for volume, okay? So it's going to be 0 because it's negligible. Coefficient times decimeter cubed. Decimeter cubed is volume, so it also counts the same. And then 2 times decimeter cubed. And that's it. Okay, for this question, you're probably going to think we have to balance, but that's not the case. So this is new material. So basically you have to split NaCl. So it's going to be Na plus Cl. We all know that. But now we have to go on the periodic table and try find NaCl. So what I mean is, like, we have to find Na. Na is here and Cl is here. So I'm going to write down the charges. You have to memorize these charges. So this one is +1, +2, 3 plus 3 minus, 2 minus, 1 minus, and 0. So we have to look at the charges. Na is plus, we don't write the 1, okay, only for the ones. And Cl is negative. So you're going to put them in. So look, we said Na is positive and Cl is negative. If it was like another thing, like let's say they gave you Mg, it would be +2. So that's what I mean by charges. So you have to memorize those like charges at the periodic table. Okay, here they want the moles. So you're just gonna put the coefficient, which is 1. But like, let's say if they didn't give you this, okay, you're gonna have to drop and switch first, then split. So what I mean by drop and switch is, here you can't, because like let's say Ag, I'm giving an example, had 2 here. You would take this and put the 2 here, okay? But why don't you do it here? It's because there's 2 capital letters. See, Ag has 1 capital letter, NO3 has 2 capital letters, so you don't drop it. So it's gonna stay Ag plus NO3. You check the periodic table for Ag and put the charge, and then NO3 is one of the polyatomic ions that you have to memorize. So here it says they want the definition of the solubility of solid S at a temperature T Celsius. So the answer is the concentration of a saturated solution of S at T Celsius, because saturated solution is like when no more solid can dissolve, and I already explained that in the last week's AMS, I think. And then solubility, it means like how much of a solid dissolves in a liquid. Basically what I mean, when you like have, like, let's say a beaker with water and you have salt, okay, and you keep adding salt, you keep adding salt, you keep adding salt, you keep adding salt, it's gonna keep dissolving until it reaches a certain temperature that, like, let's say you're like in a room temperature, and like you keep adding and you're still in that room, at some point in that room temperature, it's the solid, which is the salt, let's say, is gonna stop dissolving. So that's what they mean by this. So the answer is the concentration of a saturated solution of S at T Celsius. For this question, you're gonna take this and we're gonna drop and switch and separate. So Na2CO3. So basically, the way to drop and switch, you can only drop and switch if you have one capital letter. Like in Na, look, N is capital, so you can drop and switch the two. But CO, there's two capital letters, so 3 is gonna stay the same. So look, you're gonna take 2 to the other side and make it a coefficient. So it's gonna be 2Na plus 3 stays the same because there's two capital letters. So CO3. That's what they're asking you to do, just to put the coefficient. But if they were to give you like this gone, it's gonna be 2Na, and then it's always gonna be aqueous, okay? And then you're just gonna write it, but then you have to figure out the charges. So if you look at the periodic table, Na is over here, and this is +1, this like line, this group. So that's why it's gonna be positive. So if we go back, yeah, so it's gonna be positive. Okay, so CO3, there's two capital letters, so you can't find it in the periodic table. This is a polyatomic ion, so I'm gonna write down the polyatomic ions now. So these are the polyatomic ions. You also have to memorize these because they're not on the periodic table. So here we have CO3, so you're gonna look at CO3, it's 2 minus, you're gonna put that in. For this question, they didn't want you to do that, they just wanted the coefficient, but if they did. Okay, this question is memorizing species that participate in a reaction are called predominant reacting species. So they're the species that participate most in like a chemical equation. Okay guys, so this question is really easy. I wrote the rules at the top, okay, so that it's like easier for us to like find. Okay, so it says what is the molar concentration. So they want the molar concentration, which is C, and they said 1 decimeter cubed, so it's volume, and they said 0.5 moles. So since we have the moles and we have the volume and they want us to find concentration, we're obviously gonna use this rule. Okay, so let's start. So they want the concentration, which is M. They wrote it in M, so we'll write it in M, equals N, which is the moles. They gave it to us at 0.5, so 0.5 over, and then the volume, which is 1. You put this in the calculator, you get 0.5, two significant figures, so it's 0.50. So yeah, that's the answer. Okay, here it says how many moles. So they want the moles, okay? Should be dissolved in, okay, here they said 0.10 decimeter cube, which is volume, and they have the concentration, which is 0.50. So we have the concentration, we have the volume, they want the moles, so obviously we're gonna use this rule again. Okay, so we're gonna do N equals 0.5 times the volume, which is 0.1. You're gonna get 0.05. You're gonna add another 0, so it's two significant figures, and yeah, that's it. Okay, here it says what volume of the solution. Okay, they want volume, okay, and we have the moles and we have the concentration. So you always see what's given to you. So since we have the moles and we have the concentration and they want the volume, we're gonna use this rule again, and let's write down. So volume equals 0.10 over 0.20. You're gonna get 0.5 and then add a 0, so it's two significant figures. Okay, last part. It says a student wants to prepare. Okay, here it says 100 centimeters cubed. We usually want volume in decimeters cubed. So to do it, wait, sorry. Yeah, so from decimeter cubed to centimeters cubed, you're gonna times by 1,000. And then obviously the opposite, you're gonna divide by 1,000. So since you're switching from centimeters cubed to decimeters cubed, we're gonna divide 1,000 by we're gonna divide 100 by 1,000, so it's gonna be 0.1 decimeters cubed. So that's the new one. Okay, and now let's continue. They gave us the concentration, which is 0.1, and they want to find the mass. So since we have the concentration, we have the volume, but they want to find the mass, see? And the only rule with mass that they gave us is this rule. So we're gonna apply it. Okay, so let's write down what they gave us. So they want us to find mass, and they gave us the volume, which is 0.1. They gave us the concentration, which is 0.1. And now we need to find the molar mass, which is, okay, they gave us here, wait, it's Na2CO3. So to find the molar mass, you're going to do 23 times 2 plus 12 and 16 times 3, and then you're going to get to 106, and then you apply it. So M equals 0.1 times 0.1 times 106. You're gonna get 1.06, and that's it. Okay, here so they gave you all of this, they just didn't give you this. So all we're gonna do is drop and switch. But if they didn't give you this, you all know what to do now. So FeCl3, like I said, you drop only if there is one capital letter. Cl has only one capital letter, so it's going to be Fe plus C3Cl. And just add a 3 here, and that's it.